Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. We're excited that you've joined us as we have a conversation. We found that a good conversation allows us to share what's on our mind, whether current events, what's grinding our gears, or our pet peeves.
It also allows us to share our top 3, a list of our favorite things on any given subject, most of which are highly opinionated. In closing, we share a good word. Solid friendships are encouraging. Even if we joke and give each other a hard time, our ultimate responsibility is to uplift each other.
Our goal is that you'll feel like you're part of the conversation, like you were in the studio with us, and that you feel encouraged after tuning in to our podcast. It's time to join the conversation.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here with us. I'm Chet Sears, your host for today's podcast. I'm not screwing this up like Matt and Troy have done in the previous episodes. I know exactly what's going on today. Troy's going to tell us what's on his mind. We're going to cover the top 3 items to bring on a camping trip. And then Matt is going to give us a good word about light.
Chet, I'm just glad you're here to keep us on the straight and narrow.
I can't keep you on the straight and narrow. Only I can stay on the straight and narrow. That's all. I can't get you guys to do anything.
That's apparent.
And I've been gone again, so I'm just now getting back, and so
you should be sharp, but you're not.
No, I'm tired.
No, I've dealt with enough tired here lately. Been staying up really late watching this Johnny Depp trial.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not.
That is not what's on my mind, so we're not getting into that. Unless you have a comment.
How long does somebody stay with somebody after they've pooped on your pillow?
Was it the pillow or the bed?
Whatever. But I'm just assuming it's the pillow, but I don't know.
I have questions.
You know what it reminded me of?
I saw a picture.
Yeah.
Like, was
the
it?
bed?
Yeah, of it on the bed.
Oh.
And was it like deposited there? Like, did she squat? Or was it her? I don't know. Or did she go and like retrieve it and then place it?
Is it her turd?
I don't know. But
was she eating a high fiber diet?
I've just been doing like, I read the headlines of the articles. I haven't even I haven't read anything.
Right.
Like she chopped his finger off or smashed it with a bottle and they had to cut it off.
Wait, so he has no finger now?
He's missing a finger.
Oh, death.
Oh, it's a portion of a finger.
A portion of a finger. Well, you're only missing a portion of your legs.
Yeah, but I'm missing more of a portion of my legs than he's missing a portion of his finger.
Of a little finger, ooh.
But,
maybe I should reach out to him.
Anyway.
I think you should.
Support group. Hey, Johnny.
You need some help. Didn't work. Anyway, this picture's been, some of the stuff I read, this picture of a turd on a white bed sheet. And then Matt posted on social media the other day this beautifully smoked
brisket
it was
tenderloin.
a tenderloin, like a venison tenderloin.
And you're right. If you'd have been seeing that and you looked at that picture, you'd be like, "Oh, there's a turd on a cutting board."
But the cutting board was white,
right?
And I was like, "That's too close." I knew what it was, but I was like, "It's just too much."
And I cut it in half, and so it had that like half moon shape of the inside of your large intestines.
Anyway,
wow.
I'm sorry, I haven't been stayed up and doing that at all.
Well, there's been a lot of stuff, like just crazy stuff in the news. Mike Tyson punching somebody on a airplane.
Wasn't just punch. There wasn't a punch.
No, he like.
Did you see that video?
No, didn't he peel somebody?
Well, this drunk dude
deserved it.
Yeah. Step number 1: don't be drunk on an airplane.
Step number 2: don't be drunk on an airplane with Mike Tyson.
Step number 3: don't annoy Mike Tyson while you're drunk on an airplane with him.
This dude bit off a dude's ear in the ring. Like, he's not going to turn around and pound you. Come on.
So yeah, this drunk guy was like messing with him and like got his autograph. And there's like a long video of which I did watch, and he's just being super annoying. And Tyson was like very cordial.
Yeah.
You could tell that it was getting to a point where it was annoying, but he was just being real nice about it, which I thought that's really good. And then the video stops. And then there's another video from some other passenger, and Tyson is leaned over the back of his chair, and he's like whack, 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 right, all over that dude's face. Not like hard blows. He's just all like right here, tack, 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 tack,
Just tapping him.
And
tap,
then,
tap, tap.
And then
I don't want to tap from Mike Tyson.
No.
The video goes back to the original guy. The film the video was actually a friend of the drunk guy. And so he's across the aisle, and he's like, "Hey man, look at me, Mike Tyson just put you in the face." And he kind of looked, he's like, "Turn your head." And like all his forehead's got all open wounds and whatnot. It was, and then, which all the stuff that goes on airplanes these days, people getting duct taped to seats and landing early and getting people, the FBI pick people up. Tyson just went on about his day. Like they stopped him, talked to him. They stopped the other guy. The other guy was just out of it and didn't want to pursue anything, and they both just went home.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The guy,
justice is served.
Stupid guy. He won a stupid prize, and then everybody just goes on about their day. You learn your lesson.
I mean, have you ever seen those?
You don't need to tie up the cords.
Those
with that.
Mike Tyson interviews. You can tell that dude's holding some demons back. Like, why would you antagonize that man?
Right.
Yeah, that guy's crazy. And then Elon Musk just,
Bought Twitter.
Did he buy it?
He bought it.
Yeah.
Wait, they actually sold it to him?
That went through like yesterday of the day we're recording, which has been about 3 days ago now.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear this.
$44 billion.
Wow.
Sold.
Yeah, so all the liberal free speech people
man,
upset because he's going to allow free speech.
Well, when's Trump going to get back on there, right?
Trump said he's not.
That's BS.
He said he's not coming back.
That's BS. Trump is not going to be able to hold himself back.
Trump wants to start his own. This hurts Trump.
Well, he's already started his own Truth or whatever, right? And it's like got 5,000 followers or 5,000 people on it or something ridiculous.
Trump's the kind of guy, he's got too much pride to give up on his own thing and go back. Like, he's not coming. He said he's not coming back.
I don't know. I'm going to have to disagree with you because I think, he is prideful, but he's also can't keep his mouth shut. So I think he's going to, the lure of being able to get back on there and talk.
You're calling Trump a liar.
I could be.
Well, maybe.
Why don't you go on Twitter and say it?
I'll
he isn't going to see it then. Go to
But at least
I'll have to go to Truth and say, you won't get back on Twitter.
at least you can say it now.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. What's on your mind, Troy? Now that we've taken
current events are on my mind right now. That's good stuff.
So we're done. Moving on.
Moving on to top 3. No, so what is actually on my mind is camping. Believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a big camping trip coming up in May.
Where?
We're going to Missouri.
Okay.
My wife booked it all, so I have no idea.
How do you book a camping trip?
Well, we're bringing a camper that she's remodeling right now. So that's another thing.
Oh, a deadline.
So
she has a deadline.
Actually, so my wife, back it up for our listeners.
And if we're backing up a big camper, what would that sound like?
Beep, beep, beep.
Mine doesn't have that.
Actually, it wouldn't.
Yours
is not a dump truck.
Yours is a Class C motorhome.
Which one are you talking about?
Whatever one you're taking.
Yeah, that. It's a Class C.
Yours is not. Yours doesn't have beepers.
No. Mine's a travel trailer.
Does yours have beepers?
I don't think so. Not right now. It doesn't.
But it's a motorhome,
It might
right?
need to have. Well, it's a. Yeah, it's a camper.
So did you buy this or are you renting it?
It has an
We bought
engine. It has an engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
That's
has a motorhome.
Yeah.
Like a camper, my definition of a camper would be like
Something you pull.
you pull it.
Yeah, no, it's a motorhome.
It will not go anywhere on its own.
It will motor down the road
Yeah. On its own.
on its own.
Wait. Unguided? Like you can sit back? Like
Yes.
a Tesla model?
No,
Like
it's not a Tesla.
Oh,
No.
that would be sweet. Tesla motorhome.
No.
There you go.
Self-driven. You just sit in the back and
Watch TV and make a sandwich.
drink Chardonnay.
Oh, I'm in.
I'm sure that's something you would like. I don't know.
Yes.
That's all self-driving vehicle owners are Chardonnay drinkers.
It has an ice dispenser.
Going way back.
In the Twitter feed just constantly runs on the screen. Yes.
That's funny.
No, so as of right now, My wife has a motorhome, Class C, that she's remodeling. A pop-up camper that she's remodeling.
Are you towing it? Are you towing the pop-up camper with a motorhome?
No, we're not.
You should.
Well, we're going to sell the pop-up camper hopefully this weekend. So if anybody listening out there needs a pop-up camper that's been completely remodeled,
Yeah.
it's going on sale soon. But she's selling that one. We're taking the Class C motorhome to Missouri to check it out. We're going to get it, get it once over, get the engine checked and all that before we take it.
The
Tires kicked.
Yes.
Before we take it, 5 hours.
Yeah. What part of Missouri?
East. I have no idea. Some campgrounds where you can just, like a motorhome.
You plug in.
And you go fishing.
Yeah.
By a lake and all that
No,
stuff.
I've never stayed in one of those before.
Yeah, we've stayed. So we've taken a couple of pop-up campers before. We've gone to El Dorado Lake to their campsite there. And we took another trip to Oklahoma, somewhere in Oklahoma. It was like a 5-hour trip, which is the worst camping trip ever video on our family YouTube channel.
It rained or something?
It just it was in late March, but it just happened to be kind of like this year. You never know if it's going to be warm or cold. And it was just, it dropped below freezing the night we were there.
Yeah.
And so all I had to heat the camper was a little My Buddy or Mr. Buddy.
Which
That's
should do it.
Which did it. Yeah, it did great. So, but we were warm, but we were all around the fire and
nothing to do outside because you're freezing to death.
Yeah, and even 5 feet from the fire, you're still freezing.
Yeah.
Especially all the little kids. So that was the worst camping trip ever. Then we had a better camping trip at El Dorado, which was good. And so now we're going to take this motorhome, if she gets it finished.
Yeah.
To back to Missouri.
I think you need to take the if out of that. And if it is not finished, you still go. Not in the camper though. You just set up a tarp.
Well, if the mobile home's not ready, we're still going.
Yeah.
We're just going to take the expedition and bring tents.
We've got another difference here. A mobile home does not have a motor. A motor home has a motor. So you're going to take the motor home.
We'll take the motor home.
You know what? You want to be really ritzy about it because you're glamping anyway.
Yeah.
Call it the coach.
Ooh, I like this.
We're going to take the coach.
The motor coach.
The motor coach.
The motor coach.
Oh, that's even better.
Yes. Because it's not a horse-drawn coach.
It's a motor coach.
It's a motor coach.
Hey, so I've done some work for Village Travel here in town.
Oh, yeah. I got a story about Village Travel. Go ahead.
And their rates are pretty reasonable if you got a bunch of dudes that want to go to like a Kansas City Chiefs game or overnight, I mean, it's pretty reasonable rates.
Are you talking like the coach that has just seats like a bus seats?
No, I'm talking about the
tour bus.
The tour bus.
The tour buses are awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a tour bus?
Yeah.
Because you can get like
back in the 60s
8 to 12 guys.
You're a groupie?
That reminds me of Wayne's World groupie. No, but you can get like 8 to 12 guys on that, and
you got like a living room in the back, bunks in the middle, and then a kitchen and dining area up front.
Yeah, and you can all spend at the most like $200 just for the ride, and you got PlayStations on there, Xbox, whatever,
right?
Satellite TV. Go see a game.
That's what you do. If the motor coach isn't ready, you just rent one.
Yeah. My kids aren't bringing any income into the house yet. Hey, so
kids, if you want to go on vacation with mommy and daddy, you better come up with $200.
Get that lemonade stand.
That's right.
Dude, I was driving back from Alabama and I hit the Kansas state line and I'm just on the east side of Pittsburgh on 400. And so I don't know where this tour bus or village charters bus came on, but he was zooming like
hammer down.
Oh, like I went in because they have the passing lanes that come up every now and again. And I went to pass him. And when I was passing him, I mean, I was already doing quite a bit over the speed limit and I was having a hard time getting around him. And I finally got around him and just kept on going. But then I saw this cop, and I was like, oh, well,
got me.
too late. I'm just going to keep going the speed I'm going.
Yeah.
And just went.
I'll finish that thought. I'll just keep going until he pulls around behind me and sees my Purple Heart license plate and then turns his lights off and goes back about his day.
So
look at that grin.
it happens.
Grinning ear to ear.
Oh,
So
he's got me. Well, he thinks he does.
So anyway, I looked back and the cop had he'd passed us, going the opposite direction. And then all of a sudden I see like the brake lights come on. I'm like, oh, here we go. And he whipped around and he pulled the bus over. I was like, all right. I maybe commercially, doing that fast with passengers on board wasn't,
It's a bit less safe.
but I said, if I ever do take a bus like that or need a tour bus, I'm definitely going there because their drivers are going to get you there and they're going to get you there quick.
Yeah.
So anyway, Missouri, you're taking the camper,
Missouri, hopefully taking the motor coach. And my wife's doing a pretty good job on these things. The pop-up camper is looking really good.
Does she do roofs that have leaks? Does she fix those?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's the first thing that has to be fixed on any camper is the leaks.
So has she ever fixed a slide out that has rotted out around the top and has a problem going in and out just because of that rotted wood?
And if she has, how much would she quote?
Exactly.
I'm asking.
She hasn't fixed the slide out yet, but she's fixing ours.
Would she like to and then be able to use that in her portfolio?
I think she would.
for a lower rate.
I mean, for free because she can use it in her portfolio. That's how people approach photographers.
My wife does not work for free.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we could talk about that.
Yeah, I'll have to let her look at it and give me an estimate.
Is it back home or is it in Oklahoma still?
No, Anthony still got it. And last time I saw it, he'd ripped out the living room couch. It was gone. It was not in there anymore. I know. Yeah, I mean,
That couch saved Troy's life one night.
It did.
did it?
Yep.
You're freezing to death?
Yep.
I might have.
Troy had a deer lease that was just down from mine. And during rifle season in Kansas, it gets pretty cold. And you were staying in a tent at your place, and we had your camper at my place. And I texted him and said, hey, man, we got some chili tonight or something like that. And he came over to eat. It's like,
Imagine that.
is anybody sleeping on that couch? I'm like, no, I'm freezing to death.
Well, and then Hannah gave me the pass. She's like, oh, Chet and them are down there. Why don't you stay 2 more nights?
Yeah.
I was like, heck yeah.
You got it. And I'll stay because I'm warm. Otherwise, I'll be,
That's
no,
right.
honey, I'm coming home. I'm coming home to you.
Exactly.
I mean, you could have fit a lot more because that table folds down and you could sleep a person there. That couch pulls out. You can put a person there. You got 2 bunks in the back and then the queen up front.
Yeah.
Sleep a lot of people in that thing.
Yep.
So the water damage on the motor coach that she's fixing right now was extensive. There was a hole in the front. It has one of those
Over cab.
Cab over.
over cab,
Cab over. This cab goes first.
queen size beds up there.
Or maybe that's just the cab over camper. The one that goes in the back of your pickup.
No, I think you're right.
I don't know.
Sleeper.
Sleeper, yeah.
Anyway, there was a big hole in that, and so she fixed that
Because they ran into something.
probably.
Yeah.
And then the back, she noticed there was some leaks in the ceiling or in the roof, and the whole back wood was all. There was a little bit of black mold back there, but she got rid of that and is replacing the wood and stuff back there. And then remodeling the whole inside. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll have to let her look at mine and see what she can come up with and what it would cost because it would be nice because mine's got a couple of holes in it.
Yep.
Matter of fact, when I turned it over to Anthony, because he needed a place to stay for a while, and so I was like, yeah, just drag this back down. And so he took it, or when he showed up, I was like, yeah, I just literally had this thing resealed. Everything's good. There's no issues or whatever. And I get in there because I hadn't been in there in over a year. And so I went in and looked at it, and it had just like torrential downpour the night before. And in the slide out, there's a light in the slide out. It was completely full of water.
Got a half globe type deal. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, so when she she closed it in, and then we took it to because the HOA, we can't have it at our house very long while she's working on it. So she filled all that in, and then we took it to the little storage unit. And while I was at the storage unit, it snowed, it rained, it hailed, like over the past, 4 weeks or so, all this has happened. We picked it up last night and brought it home, and there was no sign of any moisture inside the cab at all.
Oh, good.
Which is great. So
They call it a cabin.
So that tape, seal, whatever. Flex seal stuff that she used, I mean, that stuff works.
Yeah.
So it was good.
I use that on everything. That's what's keeping my hunting cabin together.
Flex seal?
Flex tape.
Nice.
Well,
Well, so one last thing. She's fixing that in the driveway. She has a pop-up that she's fixing that's in the garage.
mm-hmm.
And then I came home the other night. All the kids are running around playing outside. It's a nice day. She's like, pay no mind. Don't look. Like, no big deal. Just nothing to see here. And I started looking around like, what is she talking about? Because there were a couple other cars on the street, so I didn't really notice. Well, I turn around, and on the back of her vehicle is one of those pull-behind little retro...
teardrop type looking things?
Not a new one, like a really old teardrop, so it's more like a square thing.
Uh-huh.
But she bought one of those. I'm like, good grief, woman.
You're going to have to lay down the law. 2 pull behinds at a time.
All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be one pull behind at a time.
One pull behind at a time, yeah.
Because now she has 2 pull behinds and a motor coach.
Yeah. You could axle limit it. You could just say this many axles.
2 axles at a time.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it.
And if it's an extra long pull behind, then it's just one thing.
One.
Yeah.
That's right. No, so that's kind of been what's on my mind. I haven't been able to pull my car in the garage for a while. She's been working on it. But I'm excited about our camping trip.
How many nights you guys stay?
3 nights, 4 days, I think. So,
dude, are you bringing a tent?
Yeah, we have two tents.
Yeah, bring it. Bring it.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, because I'm going to have some predictions.
Well, the last time we went camping at El Dorado, all the guys, which was me and all the boys, ended up in the pop-up, and Hannah and Maggie were like, forget this. It's too small in here. They went and pitched a tent, and the girls slept in a tent. We all slept in the camper.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited. It'll be fun. It'll be an adventure. I'm sure we'll record it.
It will be an adventure.
Throw it on YouTube for anybody who wants to watch, but it'll be fun. So.
And you do your own YouTube. It won't be on Hardheaded YouTube. It'll be at Trussell.
Yeah, the Trussell Tribe.
Trussell Tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We occasionally throw fun videos up there. The kids love them just for home movie sake.
Yeah, so any of our listeners out there that want to be further entertained, I would go to Trussell Tribe at YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's take a break and we'll move on to our top 3 items to bring on a camping trip. Hey, how convenient
look at
is
that.
Like it was planned. At Admiral's Pennant, our mission is to offer the latest and refined, high-quality masculine products and services to the modern gentleman, as well as provide him with the tools and products necessary to look, act, and feel confident in his appearance and social interactions. Check it out at admiralspennant.com. Without it, you might as well shave.
And we are back with our top 3 items to bring on a camping trip. Matt, what you got?
Number 3, travel trailer.
I'll tell you right now, if you say the words camp, no axles come to mind for me. Like, I'd never.
It didn't used to.
Well, you own one now.
But it's a lot of fun now. I do enjoy just camping in a tent, but I've got to have a cot to sleep on now.
Yeah.
But I do like traditional camping, but I want to have the opportunity if it gets too hot or too cold. Well,
So,
typically, it's not going to be too cold for me.
This is going to be interesting because we're literally paths diverge. because I have a feeling with your next thing on your list is probably going to be like a TV.
No,
because you have a camper. Like,
I mean, my camper does have a DVD player.
I know.
TV,
Yeah.
Well, when we go to his deer camp, I mean, we watch a lot of movies at night while we're there. It's fun.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you guys think about camping differently than I do.
Nope. So number 2 is 3 things in one.
DVD, VCR combo.
Close. Marshmallows, graham crackers,
and chocolate
and
bars.
Hershey's chocolate bar.
There you go.
You gotta have
some s'mores.
You gotta have the fire to make s'mores.
He mentioned glamping in a derogatory manner earlier about you going glamping. He's chief of glamping right now. This is the top 3 glamping items.
His comment was foreshadowing this top 3.
100%. And then number 1 is something that you actually enjoyed having around, which was the Camp Chef Mountain Man. So it's this metal stake that screws together, and you sledgehammer it into the ground, and then it's got like a grill grate and like a griddle, and they spin, so you can put one over the fire and have one over here or whatever.
Lower it, raise it.
That thing is so handy when, because you get to some of those campsites, they either don't have a grill or the grill they have just sucks. And here you can do it over an open fire, which may not work if you're camping in California or Colorado or wherever they got burn bans going on. But I mean, it's one of the handiest tools that I have for food prep when we're doing something like that.
I agree, but something like that wouldn't make my list because it doesn't fit in a backpack. So, because you think about camping differently than I do.
Yeah, because my campsite's like, hey, there's my car right over there, and here's my campsite.
Do I want to cook or do I want to drive to Burger King?
Right, Pizza Hut's 3 miles down the road. That's when we were at El Dorado, we got out everything to cook.
Yeah.
And we were like, crap, we forgot plasticware. Let's just go to Pizza Hut.
Hey, y'all deliver to the campground? That would be great.
Well, with 5 kids, I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, you're getting a different top 3 from Chet. So maybe we have some listeners that are going to better identify when they think about camping. And this isn't necessarily even for backpacking. Number 3, nylon twine. So, the roll, a lot of times you can find it fluorescent colored or whatever. I always have that with me. I actually have a roll of that in my truck, but if you want to make any structures, stretch out a tarp, do whatever, you have plenty of that. You just, unroll it, tie it, cut it, and you got plenty of it to go around. So
it's good for like making shelters and
shelters. You could lash tables, chairs together if you know how to lash things. But just about anything you need to tie. What if your shoestring breaks? You got nylon twine for that. If you need to tighten something down, tie something up, your sleeping bag, elastic is shot, which has happened on my sleeping bags. The
elastic.
Yeah.
The elastic on my sleeping bag is shot. Let me get my twine. Hold on.
I got to roll it up, tie it up.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Not as dumb as you think I am, huh? I'm on a different level.
I was thinking from you got in it and you got elastic somewhere and you just stretched it out.
No. So
not his underwear, his sleeping bag.
Whenever the guy I'm camping with gives me a wedgie and rips my elastic waistband, I have twine.
The park ranger's after me again.
So, number 2, a knife.
Yeah, you always got to have a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Matt would probably say that's a given.
Well, that's in my top 3.
I mean, if you don't always at least have one on you.
Hey, there's one in my bag right over there.
I'm just saying. Always have a knife. I typically don't. I do fixed blade when I'm camping. It's not just a pocket knife type thing. But that was a pretty large pocket knife you just pulled out.
Hey, where could you go forge your own knife if you wanted to?
At whatever place that you have.
No, Frontier Forge.
You can't forge your own
You
knife.
don't forge your own knife there. He is an expert bladesmith,
Well,
Brandon.
Where could you buy your own forged knife?
You could buy that at Frontier Forge.
There
Knives.
you go. That's
he
what I was
actually just
getting
had a
at.
deal. He had him come up. What?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about something that I did. You're talking about what Brandon did.
Yeah. So he just
Yeah.
he put on the website. So he's got like 3 of them in the shop now for $100.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm in.
That's a good deal.
really good deal.
That's a steal on those knives because I've actually held one. They're quality knife.
You just order it right there on the website?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to order one in just a minute.
Dude,
when we
they're
take a
nice.
break, I'm ordering one.
You the maple handle
Does it come with the
sheath?
Sheath?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in.
Yep, beautiful. So number 1, fire starter kit.
Yep.
So I never depend on lighters. I have them, like in the camper, air quotes. But
I've got an emergency kit in my truck always.
yep.
It's got fire starter.
And what I use Vaseline and cotton balls, and I put that in one of those little snack sized Ziploc bags. You know what I'm talking about, the little small ones.
Yeah.
You just take a cotton ball, goop that thing up in some Vaseline, and you put 10 or 15, however many you want, and then just squeeze the air out of that bag and cinch it down. It takes up no space, and you only need one to start a fire. And you could do that with a spark. You could do that with a match. You could do that with a lighter. So waterproof mat, and normally you could throw some waterproof matches in that same little Ziploc bag, and that's your whole kit. Or one of the magnesium striker deals.
That's my favorite.
Those are fun. But
Survivor.
Whatever.
no kidding. I was on
I love this show.
I was on a backpacking trip back when I lived in Louisiana. We had Martin Luther King Day off, which is January Monday, and we had a group of guys that was our camping weekend. We go backpacking on MLK, and I was going with an Eagle Scout, which according to Red Dawn, one of the characters in Red Dawn is a elite paramilitary organization. And I found out
Another reason that movie sucks.
Yes. Agreed.
it was a Cuban that said, Eagle Scout, what is that? And the Cuban's like, that is an elite paramilitary organization. It's like, they're wrong. And I found out how wrong because there were torrential downpours where we were going backpacking when we went up to Arkansas, and all the little creek crossings that you normally go across were over knee deep. So we're taking our boots off and unstrapping our backpacks and crossing white water. And I mean, it was pouring down rain the whole time we were hiking in. And we had split up, who's taking what. There's just 3 of us. And we're like, well, we're all planning on fishing, so we'll all bring our own fishing pole. But, I'll take kind of like we did when we went to Colorado. I'll take the pole, the tent poles. You take the tent, fabric, and we'll split this up. So we're splitting I'll bring the pots and pans. And the Eagle Scout was like, I'll take care of the fire. And at that point, I had this high regard. Oh, cool. But I still I'm not going backpacking without carrying my fire kit.
Right. Because it weighs nothing.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm not going to give somebody else the responsibility to carry the only knife for all 3 of us either. I'm going to carry a knife. There's just certain things I'm going to do.
Right.
So we get through there. It's pouring down rain. We're soaking wet. The low that night is supposed to be in the 20s. And we find our place we're going to set up camp. And I'm like, hey, you get going on the fire. And he's like, how am I supposed to light a fire when all this wood's wet? And I'm like, dude, you're an Eagle Scout. I assume you know how to do this already. He's like, dude, I can't light there's no way we could light a fire with it been raining. It's been raining like this. I was upset, number one. And then I realized I put way too much faith in the whole scouting organization. Apparently you could clip out of I went and got the Native American history badge instead of the fire starting badge or something. And I'm like, well, you go do this other thing. I'll start. Oh, how are you going to start a fire? I'm like, I'll have to get my knife and I'll go get some wood and I'll get some shavings that'll get down and get dry. And I've got my fire. You brought a fire kit? I'm glad I did, because apparently his fire kit was matches and it only works if you have dry wood. So I always bring that, and that's number one, because that gets into survival from that perspective. And like even when you were camping in your pop-up camper, you needed a fire starter kit to start a fire to survive.
Yep.
That you couldn't get 5 feet away from.
And you got to have a fire to have s'mores. So
that's right. The kids want s'mores.
Yeah. See, but when I go camping or glamping,
yes,
I actually have a butane torch that it doesn't matter what it is, it's going up.
Yeah, we have a couple of those.
But I do have the emergency fire kit, and that's always in my first aid.
I have. I mean, it was it's a requirement. You're not, as a child, you're not leaving my house until you can do a 1-match fire. Like you got to be able to get everything set up, and you get one strike, and you got to be able to build a fire. So Stone's already passed that, but he's about to graduate and move on. But
nice.
Dude, you got to show me that you can do that. Like that's an essential.
Do you give them the tools to do it, or do they have to go get the tools? And
no, it's just like, like with dry wood, you don't need anything. You just go get the right stuff. Tinder, kindling, and fuel. Right. I could go through this whole scenario for you if you want me to.
Let's put it in a YouTube video for everyone.
But no, it's like here's a match, light a fire. And then he has to go get all the stuff.
Right. So yeah, you don't give him all the tools. You just say, "Here's a match. Go do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he has.
That's all I was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Then that match breaks on the first one.
Dude, there's some stress. That's stressful. Well, we used to do it back when I was doing summer camps. Like we'd have races on. You divide the campers up into groups, and then you'd have 2 stakes in the ground and a piece of nylon twine that's like 12 inches off the ground.
Well, that's how they do. That's how they do it on Survivor.
The first one that breaks a string.
Yeah.
Really?
Moves on.
There's a whole TV show on this?
Have you never watched Survivor?
Not in the last 20 years.
Well, in the past 3 or 4 years.
It's still on?
Oh, yeah. It's like season 42 right now.
I don't know that I've ever...
Freaking love it.
I don't know that I've ever
Are you
seen
joking about 42? Is it like really 42?
No, it's literally season 42. They do 2 every year. It's been on for 21 years.
Dadgum.
And just the past 3 or 4 years, I think, to settle between second and third place, they do a fire challenge, and they have to build their own fire with the magnesium and the striking it. And whoever builds it big enough to light the fire and raise the flag moves on, and the other one's out.
Huh.
Because they started doing that because it was usually first, second, third, or in the final. And then the third person's always the one that was carried through the whole show and all this. So it's like, it just wasn't good for the fans.
Yeah.
So they started implementing this fire thing, and it's like totally changed the game. It's incredible. And season 41 and 42 they've completely changed a bunch of things. It's made it more exciting. And season 42 started filming before season 41 was released. So season 42 hasn't seen season 41. And so they're doing a lot of the same thing. So they don't know. It's all, Right. So they're doing a lot of the same things that they did to see the natural reaction of the people. It's incredible.
Have you ever watched Alone?
Is that not the naked and...
No, it's just Alone.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
They drop you off.
That one is... I've never seen Survivor, but
I got Survivor. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's going to be right along with where you're headed. I didn't like Survivor because of the social aspect of it, like the cattiness and the lion and head of household and all that stuff.
Well, it's not head of household. That's Big Brother.
It's the same thing. It's like one's Big Brother inside, the other one's Big Brother outside. That's the way I look at it.
They're completely different.
But they're
tribal on Survivor.
It's the same thing, though.
No, because the head of household, in quotes, like you don't become the head of household on Survivor.
You get immunity from getting eliminated, though, right?
Only when you become one tribe.
I don't know all this stuff, but I'm kind of
just
barking up the right
some
tree.
of it.
But Alone, I like because it's literally about the skills, and it doesn't have a whole bunch of arguing and bickering because the people are alone.
Well, here's what I would say: Alone is probably more, or Survivor is probably more mainstream, and then Alone is more like
Survivor's like hipster, and Alone is like the real deal, like John Wayne, type stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. So they drop you off in like Alaska, one of the last seasons that I watched. They got this lake that's massive. Like,
wait, is this the one where they drop more than one person off?
Yeah, they drop 10 people off.
If they find each other, they can...
No, you're not allowed to leave your area.
Oh, what? There's another one out there. If they find each other, then they can...
This is like literally you're alone, and whoever stays the longest wins $500,000. And they have to film themselves. So
I may have seen it.
They're literally alone.
That's crazy.
And they have to find their own food. They have to build their own shelter. They get to take in 10 items, and that's it.
Yep.
I think you need to apply for this, Chet.
And no, I'm not cut out for it.
Whatever. You've never been glamping, apparently.
I'm telling you,
He glamped all deer season.
it would be. I didn't go camping for deer season. I was deer hunting. Like I would love like the aspect of the building a shelter, finding your own food, purifying your water, whatever. But dude, like it was 90 some odd days on this last one.
No, the 100-day. It was a 100-day challenge.
100 days. Wow. And you don't see anybody.
And
else.
previously, I think the longest somebody had been was 60 something odd days, and so they were like, "We're going to do a massive 100-day challenge."
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
I mean,
and they do have doctors that come in and do checks, and people get knocked out because they've lost too much weight. Most everybody wigs out, like can't take it mentally. But so they have these stop ins, and like when you win, you don't know when other people are dropping out. Like
right.
So you don't know. You could be in it 67 days, and there could be 8 other people that are still in it, and you don't know. And so you're like, if you did, you're like, oh, there's 8 other people. I quit. There's no way I'm going to, So and then,
well, how do you find out?
How do you find out that
the
you
winner?
won?
Yeah,
they come in for a routine checkup, and they start checking you out, and then like a loved one walks up out of the woods. And then every time that happens, those people lose it. Like they're like, it's over. I can't, it's almost like a psychological.
Oh, it's that's all that is.
Yeah.
Because all these people have good survival skills. I mean, you're not going to be on that show if you don't have good survival skills. Yeah. So they all have the survival ability to do it, but they don't have the mental capacity to be alone for that long. And that's why that's the name of the show.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's where I'm like, I would fail at that. Now I'm building up body fat so that if I ever join the show, I have plenty of energy.
You're not going to get kicked off for losing too much weight.
That's right. You got that right.
That's where I'm heading.
Just in case. Yeah. Just in case they're like, hey, you want to be on? I'm ready to go. Let's go. But yeah, it's crazy. And that's what I think about camping. And you guys are all like,
well, I mean,
Beverly Hills.
Yeah, but for me, like, if I'm doing that, I don't go out there and just hike and camp just to do it.
Yeah,
there's got to be a mission involved. And so if I'm hunting, I've done some hunts like that.
Yeah.
But as far as just camping, when I think camping with the family, and then
that does not happen in my family.
It's like a vacation for us, camping. Yeah. It's like vamping.
When we almost died, the first time I got my wife to sleep into a tent was when we had 2 kids, and we almost died that night.
Yeah,
and she was like, never again. And I'm like,
yeah, that
I'm not gonna ask
monsoon tornadoes came through.
Hailstorm, right?
Baseball-sized hail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you are, you must leave now. You will die. Yeah. What did I do? So that's what's going to happen to you guys when you go to Missouri.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for that preparation.
Yep.
We'll be ready.
All right. What you got for your top 3, Troy?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, we haven't even,
we're like an hour into this thing. It'll be good. Thanks for sticking around, folks.
Yeah. If you have.
Thanks for playing. Number 3, plasticware.
So you don't have to go to Pizza Hut.
Exactly. Number 3. Number 2, a lighter and or matches.
Yeah.
Preferably waterproof matches. And then number 1, water filtration system. And that's...
So you're bringing...
That's if you're glamping, you probably don't need that, but it's probably...
Because you probably got a fridge full of bottled water.
No, right. You're hooked up to water. Like you have water and electricity at the pole right outside your
But
camper.
I was just thinking when you and I went to Colorado.
Yeah, that was a deal.
And we had to have that.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't be up there without that.
Right.
So a true camping
we were over
journey.
I remember it was a Hardheaded pump filter. And dude, I just getting so winded. Just
From
at
pumping
altitude. You're just out there.
Must drink water.
Must have more.
All right. Matt, you got a good word for us?
I do. So, let me see here. We're on day 15 of the Chosen Book 2, 40 Days with Jesus. And the good word today is light source. And it says, again, Jesus spoke to them saying, I'm the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. John 8:12. And here we are in the springtime. Everybody's, me anyway, started my garden.
Yeah, everybody. He said everybody, then looked across the table at Chet and Troy and were like,
Neither one of them.
well, at least I'm doing something.
At least I'm prepared. But if you look at the light of Jesus is kind of food for your spiritual soul, and how that feeds you, and staying in His Word feeds you and get you through the week and day. When I'm growing my plants, and this was really just kind of funny because I didn't have this book over the last week to prep for this, but when I saw light source, I was like, really? Because, I have my plants set on an automatic timer with LED lights that kick on, and, these plants get fed for 8 hours a day, or 12 hours a day. And the funny thing about plants is when they're grabbing all that energy. So it's kind of like being in the Bible. You're grabbing that energy. And then when times go dark, that's when the plants grow. Mm. And so I think that really relates to people as well, because, you can be in the Word, and everything when times are going good, but when you're really going to grow is when times are bad. And so keeping fed on the Word prepares you for those dark times when you really need it. And that's when you really, really grow. And so it was kind of an interesting, good word, just because I've seen it in action on the plants.
Demonstrated.
Demonstrated, because God left His signs everywhere for us to see. Right. And so watching these plants grow and how they grow and the things that affect them, and it really related to today's word. So it's kind of cool for me to read, actually.
Yeah. Awesome.
I like that. Light source.
Light source. John 8:12.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.